Part 3, The Human Resource Frame. I thought this chapter was really good. It opened up my eyes a little bit to kind of the two different approaches that businesses do or have with their employees, especially big brand name companies. It had me thinking a lot about past jobs that I had, working at Buffalo Wild Wings, working at Old Navy, and just thinking about how the company approached us as employees. And I thought this chapter started off right when you read the first two sentences in part 3, where they talk about our people are the most important asset to our company, or the second question being like along the lines of organizations exploit people, chew them up, and spit them out. And when I was younger, I used to think the second option, which was organizations are just going to chew you up and spit you out. It's all factory-based, like a factory-based model where you can just plug and chug pieces in until something works. And then if it doesn't work, you just fire somebody or get somebody to leave and just put somebody else in that place to keep the company going. And that's how it was when I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings and Old Navy. They didn't really care about the employees or what they wanted. The benefits weren't great, the pay wasn't great, it was just it was just a job pretty much. And the chapter that I really liked the most in this reading was the improving human resource management, just because it talked about what the companies need to do for the employees themselves, and an example, like just to reward them, and an example that I thought of for this is actually happening now. The cigarette company Altria just bought 35% stock in the company Juul, the e-cigarette company, and they bought 35% stock for $12.8 billion, and the company Juul took $1.5 billion of that and gave it back to their 1,500 employees. So 1,500 employees at Juul walked away with $1.3 million from this deal. And Altria, conversely, since they gave up $12.8 billion, ended up having to lay off a lot of people in their company. So that's one way that and that relates back to the original questions of, our people are our greatest asset, so we gave them $1.5 billion, or we're just gonna chew up and spit out our employees, which is what Altria did, because they wanted to compete. So I thought of this chapter made me think a lot about how you get the most out of your employees by rewarding them and making them feel like they matter in your corporation, not just not like your corporation is like a clock, or use some plug and chug factory based method. You have to make your employees feel like they matter to get the best production out of them. This happens with Google, Southwest Airlines, Juul has done it now. So these big companies are getting the most out of their employees by just treating them like they matter, and that was the biggest thing I took away from this chapter.